Warning. Channel Robozoid contains adult language, adult content, strong opinions, and verbal brutality. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, it is I, the Robozoid, your semi-likable and occasionally tolerable curmudgeon of the Rumble and YouTube airwaves, yada 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 yada, blah 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 blah. And speaking of blah 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 blah, we've got to talk about the blue-haired goon herself, yes, Rosa DeLauro, who supposedly represents the state of Connecticut, or maybe it should be called Communeticut at this point. Apologies to any of my viewers who live up in Connecticut, but really, it's become a communist state under this blue-haired goon and many other Democrats just like her. We have an interesting feature, and I've probably shown this before in Sunday short stories, in which, of course, she's bitching about raw milk, which, okay, don't drink raw milk, fine, whatever, but what about cow milk? I mean, cow milk is obviously the safest next to mother's milk if you're an infant. But quite frankly, she's bitching and whining about don't drink raw milk. Okay, fine. Then don't drink raw milk. But nevertheless, here she is whining about that. Just take a look.
Don't drink raw milk. Don't do that. You have your own personal views.
What about raw eggs?
Milk. They cannot be part of a health protocol.
That the raw milk is not regulated by the federal government. Congresswoman DeLauro.
Unpasteurized milk.
Hey, it's regulated by the states. It's not regulated by us.
Mm-hmm. Well, they can legalize it within their borders.
You don't regulate it.
Kennedy has enough problems just trying to talk alone. Why doesn't this blue-haired goon just shut her gob and let him finish?
The FDA does not regulate it. It's regulated by the state.
It can't be circulated across.
Some states allow it, some states do not. It's up to the state. It's not up to us.
Well, you are the head of the Health and Human Services. If raw milk has the ability
thank God you're
to
not.
9 people into the hospital, serious kidney says more than half the cases involving children 3 years and younger. You are the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Is there not some moral responsibility or compunction to say, don't drink raw milk? Don't do that because it's unpasteurized and it can cause you serious harm to your health. Is that not you view as your responsibility?
Don't drink raw milk? God forbid, sure. Okay, fine. But if you had your druthers, Miss DeLauro, Miss blue-haired goon, quite frankly, you'd have all the children drinking soy milk like you do, I'm sure, so that they can all grow up to be soul-dead, brain-dead, conformist members of the state. I'm sure that's something you'd love very much. Don't drink raw milk, drink soy milk. It is so much better for you. Sure. Like drinking soy milk is any better. Soy milk causes homosexuality and probably even worse things as well. So whatever she's bitching and whining about with raw milk, don't even pay attention. Just listen to an actual nutritionist or someone who at least has some expertise in this area. And speaking of a lack of expertise, here she is trying to debate Lee Zeldin on the environment and the Green New Deal, which you never hear about anymore. And also, of course, just bitching and whining about so-called climate change, which we know does not exist. And I'll explain why after this clip. Take a look.
Climate change is flooding our streets.
What are you talking about?
Driving up healthcare and disaster costs. How can the EPA justify abandoning
disaster costs
to protect Americans to appease polluters under the false flag of economic growth?
Following the law, Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, where does it say anything about fighting global climate change? Loper Bright, Supreme Court case, you familiar with it?
No, I maybe others are. I'm not, but let me ask.
But that's really important. As a member of Congress, Loper Bright says that we as an agency don't have the authority to get creative. If Section 202 of the Clean Air Act
No, but you don't have, excuse me, you do not have the right to
I'll
say
let you
climate
answer your
change
questions.
does not exist, that it's a
Yes, he
hoax,
does.
and that's where this administration
I
is
understand
coming
you're
from.
upset that you don't know what loper bright is. Do you know what the major
No,
policies doctrine is?
I'm upset because
You know what the
you
major...
see,
No, you're wrong, DeLauro. You are wrong. Climate change does not exist. It never existed. The truth is, man-made climate change is the biggest hoax ever foisted upon this planet. Really, since you tried to push that whole global warming crap, which you knew wasn't working, so you changed the name to climate change. Well, guess what, bitch? Changing the name of the condition doesn't change anything because you know something? It never existed. And you can't change anything that doesn't exist. So, no, you're just dead wrong, and you don't have any of the facts.
Your policies doctrine is?
No, let me just-
You're a member of Congress. You should know.
well, you have moved from someone who defended the environment to all of a
Being
sudden
very
making
defensive
it-
about not knowing the two biggest landmark Supreme Court cases of the last
and
year
you are
with
very,
regards to your
you are
question.
very defensive about changing your
I think you're
policy and your
defensive.
positions with regard
You're
to the environment.
you're defensive,
And you just
bitch.
Do you want me to tell you what the two biggest
No, I
Supreme Court
want you to
cases
tell
are of
me.
the last few years?
This is what I want you
Michigan
to tell
versus
me.
EPA,
Whoa.
West Virginia
Whoa.
No, you're here because you need money from us. So halt for the second and wait for the questions and answer the questions.
Well, I answered your...
Stop whining.
Yeah, in that first clip, somebody really needs to tell her to lose the old '60s radical hippie look. That went out in the '60s with the Shikis. And as far as the whole blue hair thing, this woman is a walking midlife. No, scratch that. She is a walking old age crisis, trying to appropriate what Gen Z or Gen Alpha is into these days, and it's just not working for her. I mean, she's got to be at least in her 70s or 80s, so, forget that crap already. Oh, in this next clip I'm going to show you, she's basically trying to argue with Lee Zeldin about the environment and about so-called climate change, which does not exist, and I'll explain at the end of the video. But of course, it doesn't stop her from whining about all this stuff like glycemic stuff, which she shouldn't be drinking, as she holds up a cup trying to argue with Lee Zeldin about the environment. I mean, let's face it, folks. This woman has totally got a screw loose. And by the way, who wears a leather jacket to a political meeting? I mean, really, that's so unprofessional. Get a suit and a blouse, lady, or a suit and a turtleneck. For God's sakes, you look incredibly foolish when you show up to one of these kind of hearings, basically dressed like a Hell's Angel. I mean, really, a Hell's Angel who forgot that the 60s were over. Nevertheless, take a look at this clip and judge for yourself.
Because
did
you
not
don't know what
answer the
loper bright is.
question.
Because you don't know what the major policies doctrine is.
Chairman.
Because you're asking me...
Questions?
You're asking me about Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, and you don't read it. You don't know what it says.
Listen, and what you want to do is to deny.
No, I actually read the law. I do my homework.
Really?
You're just somebody.
At least
who
by
likes to
taking
have
off
the
her
microphone
glasses,
on.
she's
You know what
less
I do?
uglier, but
I read
she's
the law,
still
I read
fucking
the
ugly.
Supreme
To
Court
listen to
cases.
this, and I would say
No,
that,
what you do for your
that
constituents is actually read statute.
budget is at real risk.
Read
Let
your
me tell
Supreme
you,
Court.
this is the Appropriations Committee.
Oh,
you come here.
you care
and
about
you
science?
tell
Now
us-
you're threatening to defund it?
Oh my God! No, you don't fund
Because
science.
you don't know what loper bright
The
is.
lack of
Your
consistency.
policy
You are
doctrine is your
climate
message
deniers.
to our folks at the EPA is that you want to
I don't
defund
have to
us.
listen to this BS.
The BS. You think I made up these cases?
Yeah, I think you have made up a
I
whole lot of
made
BS.
up Loper Bright. I made up West Virginia versus EPA. I made up Michigan versus EPA.
Woe is right. What do you
Woe is right.
Whoa.
Glyphosate.
Don't- Is that your question? I'd say don't. If your cup was filled with glyphosate, I'm telling you as the administrator of EPA, don't drink it.
Thank you so much for agreeing to what we need to.
I don't know what the question was. You're holding up a cup saying glyphosate.
You know,
Don't drink it. Don't inject it.
maybe you should try doing that. Okay, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to move on to a second question, Mr. Chairman.
I hope it's not as long as the first one.
Well, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
prolonged,
or it's
except-
boring and
you know,
insufferable.
It's interesting.
Yeah, we come with facts. We have.
Now, of course, we should all do our part for the environment, obviously. I mean, I don't believe in littering. I don't like to see littering on the streets, clearly. I mean, I think we can agree on that. Check. Yeah. But to say that there is so-called climate change just because of our existence on this planet, that's just kindergarten science. It's kindergarten science, okay? This bitch clearly has no clue what she's talking about. She's not an expert on diet. She's not an expert on nutrition. She's certainly not an expert on climate science because she has no facts in front of her. She doesn't even have any wild theories. All she has is just insults, name-calling, and terms like BS. Well, at least she didn't curse, because, yeah, that's bad discourse as well, along with the leather jacket. I thought there used to be dress codes for things like this. But nevertheless, of course, this woman is a complete and utter buffoon. She's the blue-haired goon, you know, who looks like she came out of a cartoon. And what a total maroon, as Bugs Bunny would say. Okay, I've run out of rhymes here. But you get the idea. This Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut, she is an absolute Bronx baby, a Bronx baby bitch, who, let's be honest here, she doesn't care about the people. She doesn't care about the children drinking raw milk, so to speak. What she cares about is, well, her own narrow-minded, smug self-interests, which don't impress anybody. They certainly don't impress me, and they shouldn't impress you either, because what the hell does this wrinkled-up old elephant psychobabble spewing Nazi fool even understand? What does she know? She knows absolutely butt-fuck nothing, okay? Not a damn thing about the environment, not a damn thing about nutrition. She is just another useful idiot for the left. Just another one of Soros' puppets. And you can take that to the bank, jank. This has been the Robazoid saying, if you like what you saw, and I'm sure you did, hey, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, subscribe on both Rumble and YouTube. I'll see you in the next video pretty soon. And remember, of course, that wokeness is weakness, and don't drink the Kool-Aid or the soy, like apparently this blue-haired goon already did. Be here, or much like the blue-haired goon herself, be absolutely nowhere.